Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. From the mountains to the prairies to your pint glass with white foam, we're bringing back beer with a backbone. All that matters in our brew is taste and a touch of American excellence. American Rebel Beer, born in the USA. Lineup for yesterday by Ogden Ash. A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love and McGraw his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes not corn and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham, and Frankie and Fish. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium, his record pure gold, his courage pure radium. H is for Hornsby. When pitching to Raj, the pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-hitting man, but an outstanding all-time, incurable fan. J is for Johnson, the big train in his prime. was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler, as fresh as green paint, the fastest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is for La Jolla, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite Ken. You ask how he's here, he talked himself in. O is for Ott, of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stay put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is for Don Quixote, Cornelius Mack. Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth, to tell you the truth. There's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker, swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled, I surrender. T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Ubel if Carl wore a Cockney, but we say Hubble in baseball like football in Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' very own Dazzy. None of his rivals could throw as fast as he. W, Wagner, the bow-legged beauty, short, close to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of 2 X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People battled against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there. These men are the game. Lineup for yesterday, Ogden Nash, January 1949, Sport Magazine. Hey, Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. America's patriotic light lager, all natural ingredients. Stand tall, be proud. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. America's patriotic light lager, offering a crisp, clean, bold taste. Perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. A beer with only 110 calories that tastes like a full-flavored beer and celebrates like freedom.
Howdy hi, and how the hell are you? And a happy spring training to you, girls and boys, here on the BCR. As we're set to bring you this game and get you ready for the boys of summer. Opening day is quickly approaching, and there's still a lot of questions to be answered out on the diamond. So kick back and relax. Grab you a cold one, as we're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play, the classic call of radio baseball. we'll hit the lineups as the game moves on. Wherever you are, we'll take you out to the warm sunshine and the beautiful blue skies of spring training baseball. Make sure to hit that subscribe and set the alerts, as we've got a full docket of spring baseball coming your way leading up to opening day. So with the spring in our step, the wind at our back, and the sun high in the sky, let's put it all aside and head out to the old ballpark.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, yeah, roll call!
Well, where the hell do we start? How are y'all doing? What a nightmare this continues to be for Braves fans. That jerks and ProFar is the gift that keeps giving. Good old square kick right in the nards. But I guess the only silver lining about this is, remember last year when this happened? And the Braves didn't do anything because they knew he was coming back halfway through the year. And because of that, they were not going to go out and get anybody because they were trying to just steady the ship as it goes and wait for him to come off his suspension. They were treating it like an injury, essentially. And then the offense got off to a horrific start because of it. I'm not saying that's the only reason, but it damn sure had something to do with it. And then we end up with a situation where the Braves offense looked like crap. Next thing you know, we had injuries with the pitching staff, et cetera, et cetera. This year, it's coming in on a much different note because we know he's not coming back. Now, look, they are going to the Players Union. Y'all probably saw my post. They are going to appeal it. Don't get any hopes up. They appeal all the suspensions, whether it's PED related or not. So that's just really them doing what they're supposed to do, the Players Association. And then that way they get full discovery and they find out what he failed. Remember last year you were being told it was because of because him and his wife were taking some kind of a drug for fertility. And you could almost believe that story because his wife did give birth to a kid about 9-10 months later. Now, whether or not he just used that as an excuse because he knew she was pregnant or whether or not it had, who knows. But he can't use that excuse anymore. That's all I know. That excuse is out the window. Nobody's going to buy it. No one's going to believe anything he says anymore. He's a liar. And I hate it because I wanted to pull for Jerks and ProFar. He always had a good smile. He always seemed like he was a good fit. And him being a countryman of Ozzy Albies and whatnot, they just seemed like they were all going to get along, and that's what you want in a clubhouse. Well, that's not what happened, and it's quite the disaster, but we are just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play, classic call, radio baseball. Pitch on the way is swung on and grounded over to third. Riley, who was 5-3 on the putout, went away. You're going to have to give me a minute. We're having issues with our monitor that brings you the scoreboard. We will get it up and going, but I'm having to work with it in between calls and have to run back and forth. Liza Hernandez is the pitcher on the mound. Right-hander, facing the right-handed bat of Solano. Fastball misses high, it's 1-0. might have to give my monitor we use some PEDs. The 1-1 pitch. Slide it right there on the outer edge. It's 1-2. 1-2 count. Pitch is swung on and fouled straight back. We'll do it again. Rushing home from work, and that was the last monitor I had to set up, and it just had a glitch, but it looks like I've got it working, so we'll get the score shared here in a second. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, high strike. A little bit out of the zone. 2 away, first strikeout on the day. Left to right across the horn for the Atlanta Braves, it's Riley, Dubon. Mateo is playing second base today with Ozzie at the WBC. Olson is at first. Sandy Leone is at the catcher position. Drake is in the lineup. He's the designated hitter. It's the first pitch on the way. Swing and a Mr. Rodriguez. Righty-righty matchup. It's a 1-1. Left to right in the outfield is the Yaz in left, Michael the Hawk Harrison center, and Eli White in right with Acuna at the WBC. And before people may start asking about this, and I can't see your comments yet because I'm trying to bring this to you, the ProFar will not be eligible to play in the WBC is the 1-1. Misses high, almost gets it, ball 2-2. 2-1 count. The place we normally bring you the game is not carrying this game because it's the Braves versus Colombia, and they don't view that as an MLB game. So we're going to try and hunt it down, but I can't be in 2 spots at once. So we're going to give you the call, and then we'll go from there. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's a beauty of an inning for Hernandez. 3 up, 3 down, 2 strikeouts. We'll be back in a flash and hopefully have the scoreboard up here when we return.
Does anyone else find it interesting that cacti is plural and cactus is singular?
December 9th, Pope Pius IV died in 1565. Elected on Christmas Day, a patron of Michelangelo, and overseeing the end of the Council of Trent, he was pope for less than 6 years and considered good but unexceptional. Now, the Council of Trent was a big deal, begun in 1545, charged with reforming the church and responding to the Protestant Reformation. But much of that work had been done before Pope Pius, so why remember him? Because when the Council of Trent ended in 1563, it assigned the Pope its incomplete tasks. 1, to compile a list of banned books in the eyes of the church. Not a new concept in history. Pope Gelasius had a good-bad reading list. Governments, including democracies, have banned books. And of course, the Nazis and communists took it to its logical authoritarian conclusion by banning everything unless specifically approved. But Pope Pius's index of forbidden books was different because of its longevity, enforced and updated for over 400 years. The list was a who's who of church critics and free thinkers: Calvin, Luther, Descartes, Voltaire, Hugo, Dumas, Thomas Paine, Gibbons, Darwin. The final list had 4,000 titles until the index itself was suppressed in 1966.
Heard you got deported, dude. Bye.
A part of him was just devastated, and a part of him could see the dark humor of what happened.
The embarrassment is gone. I'm making a joke out of it. My problem's behind me now.
They had me patched up pretty good down there, and my first at bat, I think I hit a home run.
Hit to that big part of the ballpark.
Well hit. This ball may be out of here. It is 1-0. Listen to this crowd.
Afterwards, somebody said that's the first World Series hit ever in Kansas City. And they can never take.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way is a swing and loses the bat. Leading off for your Atlanta Braves, Mauricio Dubon. It's 0-1. 1-1 count. Pitch on the way is outside wide. Here we go. There's the screen for you. We'll get it adjusted as we go along. Righty-righty matchup. Colombia heading to the World Baseball Classic is the 1-1 swing and misses. That I did not have on my bingo card today. I did not realize that they were not going to have these games on the normal scoreboards. The 1-2 fouled away with it. I would say word to the wise, but this is the only one we're going to do. So tomorrow, Braves play the Toronto Blue Jays. Will be back at it, and then come Friday, the actual tournament begins. The 1-2. Down and away 2-2. There are a couple of games going on before the U.S. takes on Brazil Friday night, but honest engine, they're at such weird times. Y'all aren't going to stay up to watch it, and I damn sure ain't going to get up to do it. So we might as well focus on the games that people care about. The 2-2 count. Outside wide, full count. Make sure you stop into the Braves Country Radio BCR store. We got it pinned at the top of the Facebook page, and it's in the post here on the YouTube page. We'll be adding stuff as we go along. We added the Jerk Store t-shirt today. I thought that was pretty funny. Someone came up with that. I can't take that through. The payoff pitch. Swing. Lifts it high. Deep. Into right field. Drifting over. Making the catch. F9 in your scorecard. 1 down. They put that picture together. Well, I was at my day job. They sent me the picture. I was like, man, I love that. I might have to get me one of these. That's funny. So, for those of y'all who didn't see it, I'll put the screen up, the picture up real quick. The Jerk Store called. They say I'm running out of excuses. If you know Braves Country Radio and you know the calls, if you know, you know. It's pretty good. Drake Baldwin, the batter, first pitch in the dirt, is 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup, the pitch on the way, swing. That ball is swatted down the right field line. Is it fair? If it is, it's gone. Just fouled. Great TV loses their feed, so we'll have to wait for that to come back. Pitch on the way is, I guess it was dribbled over towards the middle infield, and it was a high throw, so Drake is going to reach on an error. We all know how just dreadful Great TV has been for all their broadcasts, but especially here in the spring. It's going to be an E4. Looks like the ball was hit up the middle to Arroyo, and he booted it and then sailed it. He's lucky the ball didn't go in the dugout. So runner at first, 1 out. Matt Olson, the batter. First pitch swinging. He's going to drop a long single into right field. Here comes the throw into the infield, hitting the cutoff man, but the Drake will go first to third on the play. And your Atlanta Braves got something going here. In the bottom of the first, this is a good litmus test for the Braves. Playing a Colombia team. They're not one of the favorites to win the WBC. They've got a good, scrappy veteran team. They're not going to be an easy out. Austin Riley, the batter, first pitch upstairs for a strike. It's on 1. Names you'll know off of this team. The main one, Gio Urshela, who filled in for Austin Riley in his litany of injuries. He filled in at third. He is the shortstop today for the Colombia team. Of course, he played short, third, kind of all over. He's even played a little second base, former New York Yankee, but we know him from Braves country. I always liked Gio. I thought he did a great job filling in. Not a great bat, but a very slick glove. 0-0 your score, bottom of the first inning. The 0-2 to Riley in the dirt. Ball bounces away. Where does it go? Nobody knows. And the ball's going to roll all the way to the backstop. Here comes the Drake home to score. The big wry grin on his face. And how about that? The Braves, they go 1-0 lead.
You don't like the Drake?
I love the Drake.
How could you not like the Drake?
Who's the Drake?
The Drake is good.
Wild pitch that bounced all the way back to the backstop. And the runner, Matt Olson, makes it from first to third. It went that far back as the hind catcher, Velanen, could not find the ball to start off. The 1-2, chops it foul down the line. We'll do it again. We'll be doing Braves Country today, by the way, on Friday, noon Eastern. You got any questions about any of that stuff with the ProFar going on and whatnot and his suspension, make sure to drop your question on the post that we've put up. We'll make sure to hit him up. The 1-2. High and out of the zone, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. The short of it, Richard, is no. The 2-2, we'll get into that on BC today. On Friday at noon. The 2-2 count, kicks and fires down below the knees. 3-2. There's a possible out, but too long to explain here as I'm trying to do the game. But for all intents and purposes, the big thing you got to take away from it is he's not going to be here this year. And you know that, and they can't use we're going to get them halfway through the year, so it's going to be like getting a big trade. The payoff pitch, down and away, ball 4. So Austin Riley works himself aboard, runners on the corners, 1 out. Your Atlanta Braves leads the Colombia national team 1-0. Going to go out there and talk to him real quick. Ben Gamble coming to the plate. That's a late scratch. Yaz was in the lineup. Try to get to the bottom of that. Might just be a preference to get him some bats. First pitch on the way. He's outside wide for the ball. It's 1-0. Gamble's one of those names that's going to be fighting for a spot in the order. If you look at the way the Braves roster is now constructed, we've got the 4 outfielders. And I believe in Stone is the 1-0 swing and misses. Eli from the right-hand side, and Yaz from the left, and then of course you got Harris and Acuna. And then we know the starters are all throughout the infield, assuming Drake at the plate and not at the DH in the early going. Is the 1-1 swing and misses 1-2. Jonah Heim is going to get one of the bench spots, so that's essentially is the 1-2 pitch. Runners on the corner, swing, fouls it back. If you just in your mind put, we'll just say Eli in left and Yaz at DH position and Drake at the plate and Jonah Heim on the bench. Is the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gamble went fishing, but pitch was way out of the zone. Bat by there by Ben Gamble. 2 down. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. 1-0 your score. Braves lead Colombia 1-0. So what that essentially gives is 2 spots on the bench. I believe Jorge Mateo is almost a lock for one of those spots. So you're still looking at that extra spot. And you do know that you have Murphy and him coming back, but we're looking at the opening day as the first pitch on the way. Swing and misses. We'll go through some options Friday on Braves Country today, but realize you don't have to panic and make a move right now, because here in a couple of weeks is the 0-1 inside one. There are going to be an option for decent batters being released because they didn't make their current club. When everybody has to turn in their 26-man roster. 1-1 count, down and in. You still have a couple of free agents. Nothing's going to really light your hair on fire. You would much rather this news to have broken about a month ago. And the Braves, when there were still quite a few free agents out there. Remember, several guys got signed last week that could have been good options just to steady the ship. The 2-1 misses high and out of the zone 3. Braves 1, Colombia nothing, bottom of the first inning. Welcome into Braves Country Radio. I'm Mac McGee. About to start our 6th year here on the BCR. And it took us till last night to finally get a store open. And oh my God, you talk about pulling your hair out. That was much more difficult than it should have been. I won't go into those details, but my word, the 3-1 pitch. Outside wide, ball 4. So the Hawk will go down to first. And Money Mike has loaded up the bases.
What they know about that?
God bless you, Mike.
Okay.
Keep your game tight.
Never know. You know what I'm saying? I got a little razzle dazzle.
Looks like we might get a pitching change. Squarrow, the manager for Colombia, is coming out. So we'll be back in a flash here on the BCR. Your home for the classic hall of radio baseball.
Hey, to all the people out there who be eating salt and vinegar chips on purpose, are y'all okay?
What are you looking at, you dirty old skank? What are you looking at, Popeye? What are you looking at, you piece of road trash? What are you looking at? Jeez, I can smell you from over here. What are you looking at me for? I'm not a bottle of Jim Beam.
What's your emergency?
Yeah, somebody's just broke into my house.
Okay, we'll get a unit over shortly.
Okay, please hurry.
Real quick, can you verify your race for us?
I'm black. No, I'm sorry, I'm white. I'm full white.
Okay, can you answer a few questions just to confirm?
Okay.
Okay, how do you feel about Black Lives Matter?
All lives matter.
Nice. Did OJ do it?
Yeah, he did it.
Okay, who's the best boxer in the United States?
Jake Paul.
King of R&B.
Justin Bieber.
Okay, last question. Say ask.
X. Oh.
Listen to me, sweetie. You're a good fella. I love being married to you. I do. Now, that being said, RVNO.
Okay, I see.
You see what?
You obviously like being a slave to the clock. You feel compelled to follow a certain schedule, whereas I am independent-minded.
Don't quote from the video.
1986, Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Detroit Tiger Lou Whitaker is voted to start at second base. The game is in Minneapolis. Whitaker flies out, gets there, realizes he literally forgot his uniform. Doesn't have anything. I think Burt Blyleven loaned him a helmet. Damasco Garcia of the Blue Jays loaned him some gloves. And basically they went to a concession stand in the Metrodome and bought a...
Welcome back. Well, this is odd. I thought I was seeing things or had a stroke. Braves are playing against each other right now. Here's a pitch to Eli White from Gallegos. As I guess they're pulling out of the Braves bullpen. I guess that's something that's... I've not watched a ton of these games with the World Baseball Classic exhibition, but I guess the Braves are trying to get some work in from some of their guys, and they don't want to wear out their pitching staff, they being Colombia. So it makes sense, but it just threw me for a loop, the 1-2 pitch. Swing! That ball's belted down the left field line. Runners all over the bases. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The Braves are at the plate, and yes, the Braves are on the mound. Isaac Gallegos is who they have listed on the mound. The 1-2 rolls it over towards short. That should be an easy 6-3. Oh, the ball gets away. Another bad defensive error by the Columbia team. 1 run will score. It's 2-0 your Atlanta Braves. Here comes the runners around, and Riley comes home to score. It is 3-0 your Atlanta Braves. That was Gio Urshela with the error. Honest engine, most first basemen are coming up with that ball return. Rodriguez over there playing first. Don't know a ton about him. They've got guys playing out of position all over the WBC, so that might be a factor. Sandy Leon, the batter, he's behind the plate today. First pitch up top for a strike. It's 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing, fouls it back. Down the third baseline. He's going to smack the screen. Not a huge crowd today at Cool Today Park here in Northport, Florida. Now, yesterday I got home from work and was checking out the USA versus San Francisco, and that game was packed, but it was Team USA, so fair enough. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Sandy Leon goes down, and that'll end the inning. Braves have a 3-0 lead. We'll be back in a flash here on the BCR. Braves versus Colombia.
I'm not a racist. My favorite movie is Rocky.
What does that make you not racist?
Apollo Creed is in the movie.
So?
So, he's a black guy who wins against a white guy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it's assuming you count Italians as whites, which I mostly do. Of course, they weren't white up until the 1960s. They got a big bump after Korea. And it wasn't so much they got more white, the Cubans got more black, but I was okay with that too.
Isn't this the toast that got you kicked out of Ronnie's wedding?
Again, he married an Italian.
Jesus.
You think you could babysit your cousin?
Of course I can.
Yeah, if he cries, what do you do?
If he cries?
Yeah.
I'm smacking the shit out of him. I'll be like, shut the f***.
Probably hungry.
Oh, then I'll feed him.
Okay, but what if he doesn't want food?
Now I'm smacking him. I'll be like...
No, he could be tired.
Oh, then I'll lay him down for a nap.
Okay, but what if he keeps crying?
You already know I'm f***ing him up.
No, you'll rock him.
That's what I mean. I'm rocking his jawline.
I mean, rock him.
Oh, rock him.
Yes, and then he'll probably go to sleep.
Okay, and then if he don't, that's when I'll be...
Dick Williams had come in as a drill sergeant manager, vowing to change the atmosphere of what everyone had referred to as the country club of the Boston Red Sox.
Well, I made a statement and everybody laughed at me, especially the New England writers.
Dick, will you make a prediction for the 1967 Red Sox? I honestly think we'll win more ball games than we lose.
They thought I was nuts.
But Williams had a plan. He was going to go with his young players, like shortstop Rico Petrocelli, first baseman George Scott, and center fielder Reggie Smith. And he was going to get them to play his way.
Good defense, played good, smart baseball, ran the bases well, and were able to get bunts down and hit and run, do those things he felt that we had a chance.
And the young players weren't the only players who were inspired. Sensing a chance to turn the franchise around, Yaz attacked the season with a renewed vigor.
Tired of losing, Yaz got himself in the greatest shape of his life. He worked out, he got stronger, they tried to pitch him in. Now he was getting the bat out, his hands in, the bat out, and bang! Now he was hitting home runs.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Hernandez, who's back out there after a clean first inning. Pitch misses out of the zone. It's 1-0. The 1-0 chopped down towards shortstop, and that's going to be an easy 6-3 putout. Dubon to Olsen. 1 down. Thought this would be a fun game to do. I did not realize we wouldn't have any access to anything. So scratch that off your list for next time. Liza Hernandez struck out 2 in the first inning. Had a clean chopper over the short. He's looked pretty good so far. First pitch on the way. Righty-righty matchup to Gio Urshela. Is on the outer edge for a strike. It's 0-1. Good to see everybody in the chat. The 0-1. Check swing. I called that a strike, excuse me, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Pitch on the way, just outside. And I mean a hair outside. Man, that was close. Hernandez could get some valuable innings with the big club this year with all the injuries we've had. Not really someone you're expecting to lean on, but you never know with this mash unit the last few years. The 1-2 fouls it back a little bit. My biggest thing is, so there's more upside in the free agent market right now. It's 3-0 your score. Braves on top of Colombia, top of the second inning. There are more upside on the free agent market. The 1-2 just misses outside 94. He's been, even on the pitches he's been missing, Hernandez has been right there. On the starting pitching market, there's still some pretty good gets out there. But as far as the hitters, I think you're just going to wait for the trash heap to open up. The 2-2 bounces away. Remember, they save a total of $18 million. Now 15 from ProFar and 3 because they were over the salary tax. So, considering the aggressive signing of Porcelli, you would think they're going to be willing to spend the 3-2. Pops it up. High in the sky, can of corn. In between home and third, Riley fighting the sun. He'll make the catch, 2 down. You see this a lot with the Braves in the day games in the early part of the year. None of these guys have sunglasses on in the infield. And okay, big deal, it's spring training, it's exhibition, but you'll see that bleed over into the regular season until somebody spits the bill. First pitch on the way is right there. For a strike, it's on 1. The 0-1. Clicks and fires, swings, slices it. Soft line drive to Matt Olson, and that'll end the inning. L3 in your scorecard. We'll be back in a flash. I think I found a scoreboard that we can use. It's not jumping all over the place. We'll be back in a flash. It's 3-0 Atlanta. We'll grab the sticks when we return.
Hey there, it's day 4 out here on the boat. You know me, living out here on the water till tax season's over, taking advantage of that maritime law, just like George Washington said. I ain't got no water, but I got a 48 pack of Miller Lite, and I'm living like a king, baby. God bless America, and screw you communists if you don't like how we do it out here.
There is a weather advisory in your area. Be on the lookout for thunderstorms, hail, and Cyclone Joe Williams. He got the nickname Smokey and Cyclone due to the impressive velocity on his fastball. He had a record of 20-7 in games against MLB stars and postseason barnstorming exhibitions. He once threw a no-hitter in a game against the New York Giants in 1917, the same team that won the National League pennant that year. Ty Cobb once said he would have been a 30-game winner in the Major League. In 1952, the Pittsburgh Courier asked a panel of veterans and sports writers to name the best Negro League pitcher of all time. Williams won by 1 vote over Satchel Paige.
The next day, in Game 4, the Cardinals would take a commanding 5-1 lead into the 7th. But with 2 outs and Suter unavailable, the St. Louis bullpen fell apart against the relentless Brewer bats.
Whitey not feeling apparently that he wants to use Suter today. He had the lead, didn't protect it with his ace.
Base hit. Brewers will take the lead. 1 run in. 2 runs are in. 7-5 Milwaukee.
The Cardinals would have no counterpunch and lose Game 4. Then, in Game 5, despite out-hitting the Brewers 15-11, they'd strand 12 runners and lose 6-4. The series was going back to St. Louis, but the Brewers just needed 1 more win.
Busch Stadium in St. Louis, 53,000 partisan Cardinal fans for Game 6. The Milwaukee Brewers are just 1 game away from the championship. The Cardinals, with a win, would force a final Game 7.
Join the Country Club today. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today. First pitch on the way is swung on and roasted down the left field line. That ball's going to get up against the wall, and it's going to be a leadoff double. The number 9 hitter, Jorge Mateo, and your Atlanta Braves. Good piece of hitting there by Mateo. He's had some pretty good at-bats here in the spring, but don't let it fool you. He is not known for his bat. He's more of a glove man and very good base runner as well. So he's really going to be there for depth, essentially, for most games. Coming off the bench, first pitch on the way is right there. He hit the knees. I think the biggest difference is from this year to last year's we did have more depth. Losing ProFar as the 0-1 pitch. Swing! That ball sliced over towards second base. Diving catch out there. Good play by Arroyo. It's L4 in your scorecard, 1 down. See if that's a little better for y'all. First pitch on the way. Bends high and out of the zone. 3-0 your score. Braves over Colombia. Bottom of the second inning. Those y'all on phones, let me know if that works a little better for you. 1-0 pitch. Swing. Slices it through the infield. That's down for a base hit. That's going to be an RBI single for the Drake, and Jorge Mateo comes around to score, and your Atlanta Braves lead it 4-0. Good piece of hitting there by the Drake.
You don't like the Drake?
I love the Drake.
How could you not like the Drake?
Who's the Drake?
The Drake is good.
So 4-0 your score. Matt Olson, the batter, righty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way. Drops, looked like a changeup in the knees, but did not get the call. It's 1-0. They do not have the ABS challenge in the WBC, so you won't see it in these games. Although if y'all saw that clip, I think it was from last night, is the 1-0. Bangs it foul. 1-1. Acuna tried to challenge called during one of the exhibitions of Venezuela. They had to tell him that there is no challenge. The look on his face was 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. Swing. Fouls it back. 1-2. Braves 4, Colombia 0. Bottom of the second inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Olson chased the changeup off the plate. 2 down. One of the things we're planning on getting into in Braves Country today on Friday, not just where do we go from the ProFar situation, but also what Jeremy Hefner, the new Braves pitching coach, has been working on with some of these guys to try to improve them from last year. It's pretty interesting what he's done. Is the first pitch on the way to Austin Riley, high and inside for a ball. It's 1-1. And look, I never really wanted to step all over Kranitz's toes when he was there and didn't want to get into it. Kranitz was, and people make a lot of excuses for him. At the end of the day, he was a lazy coach. This is high, ball 2-2. He was very good at steering the ship of established veterans, guys who knew what they were doing. But if he had to try to teach a new dog new tricks, he just didn't put the effort in. And I don't know if he really knew what he was doing as a 2-0. Check swing, did he go around? He did to a 1. And in today's baseball, these kids come up so quickly, you need a pitching coach that is also got this developmental, like you would have down on the farm in the early, as the 2-1 pitch bounces away. Another wild pitch by Colombia. And the Drake will head up to second base. So with 2 outs, got a runner in scoring position, a 3-1 count to Riley. Three-1 count. Pitch on the base, swing, rips it up the middle, but it's a comebacker right at him. An Atom ball to the pitcher. It'll be a 1-3 putout, and that'll end the inning. But not before your Atlanta Braves take a 4-0 lead. We'll head to the top of the third against Colombia here in Northport.
I'm sorry, I'm such a bad host. Can I get you guys something to drink? Oh, please, you're fine. I'll have a water when you get a second. Water? Got it. Dalton, did you want a water or anything? I'll do a root beer float. You can't just go to someone's house and ask them to make you a root beer float. Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, I would. I just don't have root beer. Oh, okay, it's fine. I'll have a milkshake then. Dude, pick a household drink. I don't know which ones are. What did you get? Water. Water? Okay. Do you have ice? Yeah, I have ice. I'll do a snow cone then.
To the 98% of people who follow me but don't talk to me, who are you? Do you like taco?
I ain't real proud of this, but damn, I've been drinking the out of them White Claws. I talked a lot of about them, but they kind of are nice. By the time I drink 15 beers, I'm so burpy and farty, I might need a spit up with a little and I drink liquor the same way I drink beer, and that's fast. Then the only one around here having fun is me and maybe a cop that gets a chance to kick my ass. He's got his taser out as soon as he shows up. Can't say I blame him. All he's heard is that there's a belligerent drunk 6'2" Sasquatch running around, and he is unpredictable at best. There ain't no brakes on this train. But them old claws, yeah, they taste about like you're making out with a cat that has a piece of fruit in its mouth. But I can put 12 of them down in a pretty reasonable amount of time. Biggest problem I see with them, though, is the price point. It's a little ridiculous to price a product that high in such economic times. It's arguably the hardest it has ever been out here for a pimp.
No doubt about it, the 67 Sox will be becoming a team with championship dreams.
It was a game in Fenway Park in late June against the Chicago White Sox when the Red Sox fell behind by a run in the bottom of the 11th inning, and Tony came up and hit a 2-run home run to win the game, and it was like an exuberance. Fans went crazy. They hadn't seen things like this in a long time.
Welcome back. 4-0 your score as we head to the top of the third inning. Atlanta over Colombia. And a 2-0 count here, righty-righty matchup. Hernandez working quickly, fires a bullet right down Main Street. It's 2-1. He's yet to give up a base hit in this affair. He could go as long as maybe 4 innings, but this is probably his final inning as the 2-1 swing and miss to him. He has pitched a few times here in the spring. I think your starting rotation is pretty much set just because the 2-2 swing slices it towards second base side, and that's going to be a nifty catch out there by Mateo. L4 your scorecard, kind of had to hop up there to grab it. 1 down. You look at the starting rotation, assuming health, and I know that's a big assumption where we're at with the Braves the last few years, but one through 5 for opening day, assuming they just go with the 5 and not a 6-man rotation, which is a possibility. The first pitch is right there for a strike. It's on. The 0-1. Swing, fouls it back. It's on 2. You're looking at Sale on opening day. The most likely Strider, and then Ronaldo Lopez. Grant Holmes at the 4 spot, and Bryce Elder at the 5 spot. The 0-2. Bang, right there. Caught him looking. Strike 3. 2 down. Hernandez having himself a game. That is his 3rd strikeout. 2 2/3 innings. Now he's set to face Arroyo. Number 9 hitter, first pitch upstairs for a drifting slider over the top. That's 1-0. This is Carlos Arroyo. Right there for a strike. This is the right fielder for Colombia. Is their second baseman who is on deck. Is the 1-1 swing and miss. It's 1-2. That's Michael Arroyo. And he plays for the Seattle Mariners. As far as I can tell, it's not stated that they have any relation. The 1-2. Outside wide 2-2. It is a pretty popular last name in Colombia. Two count. Down and away. 3-2. If you haven't already chimed in, say hi. We're going to attempt the roll call here in between innings. We had a choppy start to this one. Payoff pitch. Swing. Chops it foul. Do it again. Happens from time to time we do these day games as I'm rushing home from work. But I believe this is the last obstacle. Because going forward, I've opened up my schedule a little bit for these day games we're going to be doing. So I should be ready. The payoff pitch. Outside wide. Ball 4. So he'll head on down to first. Arroyo heading to first. Arroyo heading to the plate. Braves lead it 4-0. Top of the 3rd inning, 2 outs. You know, you look at the fact, and I'm not even talking about going to have to go get Lucas Giolito, because I still think he's expecting a way too big of a contract. As the first pitch is down and away for a ball, it's 1-0. And if any of y'all see anything that breaks as far as the news, let us know, because I'm concentrating on the games today. I still am a big fan of Zach Littell, and he can be gotten for a very affordable deal at this point. 1-0 lifted down the line, foul. And he's a guy that was with Tampa Bay. And not only was he in their starting rotation and did pretty well, he's also been a good swing man out of the bullpen. So you could add a Zach Littell. Now remember, we also have Joey Wentz as the 1-1 pitch. Swing, lifts it into center field, going back on the track. It's going to go up against the wall, over Michael Harris's head. He'll get it into the infield, but looks like the run's going to score. It will, and it's an RBI double for Colombia. 4-1 your score now. Atlanta still leads it. A hard hit ball. Harris was playing straight away. That thing was tailing over his head, and he just didn't have enough time to get over there. Think if this is a regular season game, Michael probably catches that. They're telling all these guys to go there and blow a hamstring now. We're already down because Royd Boy is gone. I'll tell you what throws me off is that they have the same hairdo, Mateo and ProFar, and every once in a while, if you catch him at the right angle, you think he's standing out there playing the infield. Someone might want to ID that guy. Runner at second, 2 outs, righty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way is outside wide. For a ball, it's 1-0. same people that want to put Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame are the same ones that want to kick ProFar off the team. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Nasty slider down and away. I think he actually calls that his cutter, but it's got slider action. Braves 4, Colombia 1, top of the third. 1-1 misses high. Looked like the changeup floating in there. 2-1 count. Swing, fouls away. Man at the plate, Donovan Solano. Played last year with Seattle and Texas. Career .277 hitter is the 2-2. Just outside wide. Full count. Payoff pitch. Outside wide, ball 4, so he'll head on down to first. First and second, 2 outs. Here in the top of the third, the Braves lead it 4-1 over Colombia. And Walt Weiss is going to come out and get Hernandez. He is up to 45 pitches. That might have been his total limit, or you may see him come back next inning with the spring training rules. We'll make way for, looks like a right-hander's coming out of the pen. We'll be back in a flash to introduce him when we return here on the BCR. Braves lead it 4-1.
For about 70 cents, you can buy a can of soda, regular or diet. For about 70 cents, you can also buy a cup of coffee. For about 70 cents, you can buy a pack of gum, plain or sugarless. For
10 cents a day,
you can buy
The Country Club for Braves Country Radio.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
Welcome in, Braves Country. Do a little quick roll call work. We're doing a pitching change here. Good to see you, Brian. We just got the news that Betty White passed away, I'm assuming here. Gary the Real McCoy. Jameson Taylor. Richard Talley. B.A. Baracus. Buddy Elvis, good to see you. Jason Up and Adams. Brian Smith. Royal Pita, good to see you. I think I saw a chop shop in here earlier. And Uncle Charlie's the first pitch on the way is down and away for a strike. It's over. James Fisher King, there you are. Cody Turner. There's the 0-1 right there. Misses 1-1 count. Man on the bump is a right-hander, Justin Long. 6'1", 180-pounder. The 1-1 misses down and away to him. Six foot 180-pounder, 24-year-old. The 2-1 foul bat, 2-2. He was just brought to the Braves Major League camp today, and I believe it's because you're seeing a lot of these also-rans in the game because they knew that they could be pitching 2-2 fouls away. Pitching for Colombia, as we've already seen. It's got to be interesting how that went about. I mean, I'm sure that they went to them and said, hey, we want to have X amount of pitchers at our disposal. Let us know who we can use. And the 2-2 swing. Bangs it down the third baseline. Foul. So Deuce is wild here in the top of the third. 2 on, 2 out. A 2-2 count. Braves lead it 4-1. Finally got to the top there. Yeah, there's Uncle Charlie and Chop Shop. The 2-2 swing, lifts it high and deep into right field. And F9 your scorecard, and that'll end the inning. Good to see you, Will-I and Heather. We'll be back in a flash here on the BCR. We'll talk more about our favorite topic to talk about these last couple of years, Jerks and ProFar and rehab.
Sometimes I think, and then I forget.
We told you don't put that in the macaroni and cheese, but you insist on putting it. So since you want to do things your damn way, we're going to do it our way. We getting ready to go upstairs and go to sleep while you clean up all this Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. We love you. But guess what? You couldn't even get a decent thing of macaroni and cheese because you decided to do some bullshit you done seen off the damn internet. Don't experiment on damn Thanksgiving. Don't experiment on Thanksgiving. You experiment by your damn self.
Don't kiss your wife with a runny nose. You may think it's funny, but it's not.
Suspect doesn't believe in Santa, but believes in the Cowboys every year.
Jerry Jones. Suspects lost faith in humanity, but not the Cleveland Browns.
We got invited to a social gathering, which is the same thing as a party, except there's less fun and more cheese plates. I'm an introvert, so I park myself by the chips and salsa station while my wife goes around smiling at everyone like she's in a toothpaste commercial. She's supernatural at these things. She's like, you need to smile like you're not constipated. All right, you got to show people your teeth when you smile. I'm like, dude, I'm not just going to greet a stranger and then show them all of my teeth. That'll get us invited back. I am not a wolf.
They're 6 yards away from Pontiac. 3rd and 3.
We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Caught it! Dwight Clark! It's a madhouse at Candlestick with 51 seconds left. Dwight Clark is 6'4". He stands about 10 feet tall in this crowd's estimation.
We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Your score, bottom of the third inning. Atlanta Braves lead Colombia. First pitch up to Gamble is high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. I mean, can someone just come out the hip and get a new coaxial cable for Great TV? Is the 1-0 outside wide? When they do the games, it's at least half a dozen to a dozen times that the screen just goes blank. It's absurd. The 2-0 count. Check swing, fouls it down the line. Hey, Tree Nug, good to see you. The 2-1 pitch, outside wide. 3-1. I'm just going to assume Jerks and ProFar was hanging out with Tree Nug. That's why he passed the failed the drug test. The 3-1 count. And that'll miss the zone. Garcia will walk the leadoff batter, and your Atlanta Braves have something cooking here in the bottom of the third inning. First pitch on the way, righty-lefty matchup to Michael Harris II, misses for a ball. Pitch misses wide. Ball 2-2. Count, runner at first, nobody out. Kicks and fires. That ball's going to get chopped slowly down the first base line, but it'll go foul. Gamble heads back to first. Garcia comes set, his 9th pitch of the inning. Swing! That ball slapped foul. 2-2. When Harris is swinging the ball well, that fastball that he just fouled off, he gets around on that. He gets around quicker and he drives it to left center field. He was just a touch behind it. One thing we have seen a little more of improvement this spring, but we'll just see if it carries over into games that count, is it seems that Harris is the 2-2, swing, swats it down foul. He appears to be a little more selective at the pitches he's swinging at here. Not just wildly hacking away. He's done a pretty good job of not chasing. Looks like they got Chipper Jones on the bench. The 2-2 fouls it away. He's still a consultant, but from time to time, he still tries to get down there and help the guys out. 2-2 count. He's always the name everybody goes to when for anything. It's like, dude, he does not want to do it. Like, he just, no, it's not going to happen. 2-2. In the dirt, ball gets away. Another wild pitch. Another fielding error by the Colombia national team, and Gamble will head from first up to second base. Scoring position. Showing Olsen sitting next to Chipper, trying to pick his brain. I mean, I hope they're talking about hitting. They're probably just shooting the bull about the chick in the tank top. The 3-2 swing. That ball's hammered into right field, over the head and through the woods. Up against the wall it goes. 1 run will score. Michael Harris II chugging around the bases. Here comes the throw into the infield, and it's an RBI double for Money Mike.
What they know about that?
God bless you, Mike. Keep your game tight.
Never know. You know what I'm saying? I got a little razzle-dazzle.
That ball was poorly played by Arroyo out there in right field. He took 2 or 3 hard steps in before he realized that ball was going to get scalded over his head. By the time he slammed on the brakes, he tried to go back. It was just out of his reach. Book of Eli to the plate. First pitch swinging, bangs it down the line. Foul. It's on. So once again, you know, you've got so many players that are playing out of position in the WBC. I don't know if that's Arroyo's true position. I'd say that it probably isn't. Is the 0-1 swing and misses it too, just because that was poorly played. A good right fielder is going to catch that pretty well. The ball was scalded, but it was more of an atom ball. The 0-2 inside 1-2. Yaz was scratched today, Peter. Looking up to see if I got anything on why he was. Sometimes they just do it. They decide they want to get someone else. There's the 1-2 check swing. Did he go around? Did not. 2-2. Says he's tending to a family matter. So. He better not be taking PEDs for fertility. The 2-2. Swing. That ball is smoked. Left side going deep, deep, deep. Way back. Helter Skelter, baby. It's a 2-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves are on top, 7-1.
Cursed be the ground for our sake. O thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for us. Out of the ground we were taken, from the dust we are.
Smoke that.
To the dust we shall return.
They don't have the StatCast here on how far did it fly. My guess is it well went over the wall. My guess is somewhere in the 360 range. And Sandy Leon gets a hold of one. That ball's going back. That ball's going out. In, out, gone, baby. A solo shot. And San Leon, we've seen this before, him in spring training, he cranks and yanks one over the wall. 8-1 your score. We're in the bottom of the third. Re-upped it, but anyways, you know the score. It's 8-1, bottom of the third. So 8-1 your score. 2 home runs, a 2-run shot by Eli over the left field wall, and same thing for Sandy Leon, but over the right field wall. Both of them sneaking inside the foul poles, but well out of the range of any defender. First pitch on the way to Mateo, the number 9 hitter. It's 0-1. Quickly on the out-of-town scoreboard as the 0-1 fouls it away. Astros and Orioles, are scoreless. Orioles are threatening in the second. The 0-2 swing, chops it over to short. That's off the glove, and another error by Urshela. That's 2 today. He's usually a slick glove man, but he is struggling over there at short. Remember last year he was all about third base, and he has played short in his career as a shortstop for the Yankees, but he haven't played in a while. I mean, that one there just ate him up. Runner goes, pitch on the way. Here comes the throw down to second base, and he is safe! And it's a stolen base by Mateo. Braves lead at 8-1. Runner in scoring position, still nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Righty-righty matchup, top of the order. Marcicio Dubon takes the first pitch upstairs for a ball. That'll even up the count off that first pitch off the stolen base. It's 1-1. Swing, slaps it over to second. Another ball off another glove. I don't know if they're going to give that an error, but they might as well. And it is a 8-1 lead. Runners on the corners as Dubon. That's a ball, hard hit ball up the middle. It may have touched the pitcher's glove, and if it did, that would relieve Arroyo of an error. But the defense has been horrific right now, and I don't know how they're doing this, but right now, on the scoreboard you see on your screen, they only have them with 1 total error. If that's the truth, I'll eat my hat. Here comes the left-hander in from the Braves bullpen to try to put out the Braves bats. We'll be back in a flash. 8-1 your score. We're here in Northport facing Colombia as they head to the World Baseball Classic this weekend.
They always say that you only live once. And that is such a relief. I cannot do this a second time, thank God.
My mom isn't wearing shorts or underwear under her dress. That's what my daughter just said to the salesman at the mattress store. We went to look at mattresses, and I have a white dress on. And I made a strategic decision before I left to not wear anything underneath it. And my kids saw. Mistake number one, they saw it. And mistake number two is I didn't fully answer all of their questions before we got out of the car. So they still didn't understand that it wasn't something that we should share. So fast forward to walking into the mattress store, and they shared that information immediately, just freely with that guy. So needless to say, it was challenging for me to lay on the mattresses, especially knowing what he knew at that point. And then we didn't buy one because we left pretty shortly after that. 5 out of 10 would recommend this dress. It's a cute dress, but you just can't wear anything underneath it. 0 out of 10 would recommend having kids.
I don't mean to brag, but my videos are enjoyed by well over 4 people worldwide.
When Detroit began to burn to the ground in July of 1967, Willie Horton, still in his uniform, walked the streets of Detroit pleading for peace among African Americans in the community, and it went for naught. And that really was the beginning of a summer of tremendous unrest.
While the country struggled with racial issues, baseball offered the nation a model to follow.
It never was an issue, and I don't think it hardly ever is an issue in baseball. It's colorblind.
Welcome back. We got a 1-1 count as that was a very short break. Lefty-righty matchup fried the pitcher, Drake Baldwin the batter. 1-1, fouls it away, 1-2. I think these guys are coming out of the pen already to roll, so we'll keep a better eye on that. We'll take a typical 2 minutes. Swing and a miss. Nasty pitch. Strike 3. Give you a little bit of an introduction here from the left-hander out of the Braves organization. It's Riley Fry, and he's from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Man, has that been in the news over the years. Drafted by the Braves from Wisconsin, Milwaukee, the college right there near his hometown. He was drafted in the 19th round in 2023. Whoa! Matt Olson steps into one. If that's fair, it's gone. Going back on the track. Now it's going to go off the wall. The wind knocked it down. 1 run will score. The Braves lead it 9-1. And Matt Olson has an RBI double. Runners on second and third, and 1 out. Whoa! Nelly, did he knock into one there. That ball was absolutely crushed. It had the top spin and the wind knocked it down. It looked like it was leaving the yard.
This is not watered down. This is Ice House.
Just missed Pater.
Ice House. Smooth as it gets.
Austin Riley is high and outside. It's 1-0. 9 times out of 10, that ball leaves the building. That ball's knocking the beer out of your hand at the Chop House. 1-0. Outside wide ball 2-2. So a 2-0 count. Nixon fires. Top for a strike. 2-1. Brings it, swing, chops it over towards the right side of the infield. The infield was playing in. They're going to come home and they're going to get the runner. So it scored a 4-2 on the putout. 2 down. Dubon was headed home. He actually had a pretty good slide. I'll tell you what, that was a nifty slide. You almost think he might have missed the tag, but he did get him on the back calf just before he tapped the plate. First pitch on the way is right there for his strike. But that's a type of tag that a lot of times you can sneak your way in there because they just do the swiping motion. If you slam on the brakes and then just kind of tap the bag or the plate afterwards, there's a lot of times that you can get away with that. Pitch from Fry is out of the zone. It's 1-1. 1-1 count. Brings it upstairs for a strike. 1-2. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Gamble. Digging in. Here's the pitch. Caught, looking, strike 3. Set him down, Joe. My fingers are so. And that'll end the inning. We'll be back in a flash. The Braves are the only one that can get the Braves out. 9 runs, 9 hits, no errors. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 errors. We'll be back in a flash here on the BCR Radio Network.
Ever since I joined TikTok, I can't even walk down the street without someone recognizing me from my videos.
You suck! You see my tatas through my shirt? Mind ya, biz.
I think I speak for just about every heterosexual male. If I can see your tatas through your shirt, I'm going to stare because they're out there.
A lot of people have asked me to react to the Olympic Australian breakdancing. Oh, I'll be the first to admit that I don't fully understand a lot of the flopping about that she's doing here. Oh, I may not understand it, but I sure as wouldn't be able to do it. Not without pulling a hamstring or having a panic attack. She is at the Olympics, and I am sat at home. A fat. A lot of people are saying this shouldn't be in the Olympics, but we need this kind of weird in the Olympics. It spices it up. There's only so many times I can watch people run a slightly different number of meters. It gets boring. And what the are you doing with your life? Criticizing somebody in the Olympics? You're probably only watching this video because you ran out of Candy Crush energy points. You go to put your bins out and within seconds you're mouth breathing and thinking about ordering a more ergonomic office chair because your back hurts. So shut up and watch it.
Lou Brock, who was playing his first All-Star game.
I'd never been in an All-Star game ever, and I decided to come to the ballpark early so that you could look like you know what you're doing. And I got to the ballpark by 10 o'clock in the day, walked in, asked one of the clubhouse kid if he'd get me a Coca-Cola. The kid came back, and he said, by the way, my name is Tom Seaver.
Seaver, a future Hall of Famer, was a 22-year-old rookie pitcher for the New York Mets. And in his first All-Star appearance, he would prove to be unhittable. But the star of the game for the National League would be Cuban-born Tony Perez of the Cincinnati Reds, who won the game with a homer in the 15th inning.
Ball and Perez rips into it for a long drive to left field. It's going, gone!
Top of the fourth we go. Righty-righty matchup. Tyler Kinley coming on for your Atlanta Braves. Kinley had a 3.96 ERA the entire season last year, but pitched much better after leaving Colorado, coming to Atlanta on the trade in really the only significant trade the Braves made at the deadline. The 0-2. Righty-righty matchup. Braves are wearing their spring training gear once again today with the dark blue jerseys and laying across the chest in white. Red cap, blue bill, and the spring training flowers off to the edge. The 0-2 swing and a miss. Nasty bender out there. It's white pants with the red piping down the side. Kenley's got the red glove kicking today, so it matches his hat. Colombia is wearing a royal blue jersey and yellow cap, yellow stripes with white piping, gray pants, the red C on the front of the cap, representing the country of Colombia. The 0-1 swing, chops it over towards third. And it will stay fair, and Austin Riley will flip it over to Olsen. That'll be an easy 5-3 putout. Mariaga, the center fielder, comes to the plate. First pitch, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Inside. It's time for Who Am I? One pitch is swung on and lifted high into left field. That'll be F7 in your scorecard. When we return, we'll hit the Who Am I? Here on the BCR. Atlanta 9, Colombia 1. These games count.
Life is hard, but it's harder when you're stupid.
You like my man? He turn you on? Pick out a casket and your favorite church song.
What is an open-faced sandwich?
That is a sandwich on one piece of bread my grandmother used to make.
One piece of bread, so it's not finished?
It's finished.
Did you run out of bread?
No, I got plenty of bread.
Then why'd you stop making the sandwich?
The sandwich is made.
Is the bread on top or bottom?
Bread's on the bottom, piece of meat, cheese on top.
You're so close to being done.
If you fold it over, it's a finished half sandwich.
The sandwich is finished.
You should serve soup and a half sandwich like that place down the block with the bread bowls.
They got so much bread, they're making bowls out of it. They could help with your shortage.
I don't have a shortage.
Then finish the sandwich.
Give me this. Give me this.
Bread thing is stressing them out.
Big time.
It ain't the bread!
Hi, ladies. How you doing? I want to kill you. Oh, yeah. Take a number, honey.
Orlando Cepeda had a remarkable year that year. He was the first unanimous MVP, getting more votes than any MVP ever.
He really rips into this pitch. There it goes. Back, home run.
It seemed as if all the Cardinals were at the top of their game in '67. Catcher Tim McCarver finished second in the MVP voting. Center fielder Kurt Flood would win a fifth straight Gold Glove and hit over .330. Lou Brock would lead the league in runs scored and stolen bases, while young hurler Steve Carlton chipped in with 14 wins as the Cardinals ran away with the pennant.
What's up, Braves country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love y'all.
Braves will be starting their season at home against the Kansas City Royals. Day late, dollar short as they moved it back from opening day. It's set to be Thursday the 26th, and that'll be Friday the 27th. First pitch on the way, swung on and lifted down the left field line. Michael Harris slaps it up against the wall. That's going to be a leadoff double for Money Mike.
They know about that.
God bless you, Mike. Keep your game tight.
Never know. You know what I'm saying? I got a little razzle dazzle.
Book of Eli stands at the plate. Eli White, righty matchup, runner at second, nobody out. Harris with good speed and scoring position. Rays lead at 9-1. Pitch on the way is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Good take by Eli. Nasty slider off the plate. Martinez, the pitcher now. Pitch swung on, chops it deep into the hole at third, but just foul. Eli will return to the plate. we're going to need a much better year out of Eli, and we're going to need a good combo tandem between, much better year out of Michael Harris and a much better tandem combo there in left field out of Yaz versus right-handed pitching and Eli versus left-handed pitching. We've looked at their career numbers. They really do fit like a glove because Harris, I keep saying Harris because he's staying in second. I see his helmet to 1-1, down and away, 2-1. Eli hits left-handed batters much better. Much better. And the same can be said about the Yaz facing right-handers. So you can platoon them in the outfield and be fine. And my theory is have Drake DH. It's the 2-1 pitch. Right there for a strike. It's 2-2. On the days he's not catching, so obviously Heim would be behind the plate. And on the days that he is catching, you'd find someone else to DH. And that's the big conundrum is who is it going to be, the 2-2. Swing, lifts it into left field. That's down for a base hit. They'll go station to station. Harris had to hold up as it looked like the ball was going to be caught by a leaping attempt out there at short, but it's off the glove. That'll be a base hit. And runners on the corners. And still nobody out. So a fisted single by Harris actually retreated back to second base. I did not see that. So he retreated back to second base in the book of Eli.
Cursed be the ground for our sake. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth
Sandy Leon
for
takes
us.
the first pitch outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Swing high and deep into center field, drifting back, fighting the sun, and his two left feet drifting over there. Finally making the catch. It's F8 in your scorecard. Harris will tag up at second, come down to third. Man, I'll tell you what, there's some bad defense on this Columbia team. One thing you can take away from this game, whoever Columbia plays in the WBC, take the over. Jorge Mateo, 1 for 2. Reached on an error and scored 2 runs. Righty, swing and a miss. Fastball pumped right by him, 94 miles an hour. That's a flip it over to first to keep the runners close by. Takes a fire swing. Dribbles it up the middle. That should be a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning, and it is. Let the Braves lead it 9-1. We'll be back in a flash. We go to the 5th. Columbia will grab the sticks when we return here on the BCR.
Honestly, now that TikTok's gone, bro, I think I want to better my life. Like, I want to start going to the gym. I want to start reading books. I want to start exploring outside, touching grass, playing sports. Like, I really want to make a better version of myself, you know? It's back up again. Oh, well, I tried.
Holy cow, a price! Oh, that's just gorgeous there. To buy a matching pantyhose?
You're really sick.
This is a bag to carry things in. What's wrong with that? If you don't know, buddy, I'll spell it out. You F-A-G fruit. There you go again. Just because something looks a little bit different to you, you have to put a label on it, right?
Well, if the place fits.
He had a good World Series. He did. One of the big things I remember with George about the World Series was Dickie Knowles knocking him down. It changed the entire complexion of the World Series. And from that point on, everybody on their team stopped hitting.
Phillies, of course, had Schmidt, but they also had Pete Rose and Steve Carlton and Tug McGraw. I mean, like, that's an all-time great team. Having sort of a sidelined and hurt George Brett did not help at all.
Here's a typical dad thing.
calls me and says, couldn't play with hemorrhoids? I go, no. 15 years go by, my brother Bobby calls me, or John calls me, or Ken calls me and says, hey, you talked to Dad lately? I go, no, why? And he said, he's in the hospital. And I go, what's wrong? He said he had hemorrhoid surgery. I call him. He answers the phone. Hello? I said, you can't even sit behind a desk and you're giving me because I couldn't run and slide?
Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. All right, let's try this again.
I am what I am. That's all what I am.
It's time for Who Am I? Dylan Lee, the pitcher, to face Ramirez, lefty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way, swing on the miss. The 0-1, down and in. I was a shortstop in the major leagues and had a career WAR over 25. Oh, they rang him up. Home plate umpire was kind of nonchalant about it. He finally rang him up. What a way. Harold Ramirez kind of getting a laugh out of it. Like, man, get it together. Well over 100 home runs and a batting average well north of 275. 1-1. Upstairs for a strike. It's Dylan Lee. Haven't seen him a ton this spring. The pitch is right there at the knees. Good pitch, 92 miles an hour. He's set to be once again the left-handed option coming out of the pen late in the game. You'll have your setup guys realistically as Suarez and Iglesias is the 1-1. Right down the pipe for a strike. It's 1-2. But there's going to be days where you know one of them is not available. And Dylan Lee, there's not too many better than him in the 8th inning. 1-2, pops it up high in the sky. Can of corn running over from second in front of short. And in between third is Jorge Mateo. He said, I know this area of the field very well. Give it to me. I played for the Cardinals. I also played for the Braves at one point. And the Detroit Tigers. I was a San Francisco Giant. But I'm much more known as the pitch on the way is outside wide for Baltimore now. As a World Series hero, swing and miss. It's 1-1 for the Florida Marlins. That's probably the one that will give it away. If you haven't figured it out yet, I am one of the better players to ever come out of the country of Colombia. 2-1 count. On the way, swing, dribbles it over towards third. That's going to be a 5-3 putout, and that'll end the inning. Well, that'll give you all time to Google it. We'll be back in a flash here on the BCR. It's 9-1. Good guys on top of the Colombia national team.
Well, guys, I didn't believe it was true, but my husband is taking away my rights.
No.
Yes. Yes, it is. Every day, just less and less.
No.
Yes.
That's not what I said. I said you can't have any more dogs.
It's kind of insane.
I'm sitting here working, I'm thinking to myself, I'm about to stop partying with black people. Y'all don't make enough memories like white folks. See, nowadays when you go to black parties, you got to be on guard. White people just live life to the fullest, don't give a See, white people really got this life thing down packed when it comes to these parties. You only got one life, you might as well say it, right? Black man would have been like, nah, sweat it, we've been in the club all night. White people say you only got one life. I love partying with white people. They gonna make it fun before you even leave the house.
Are y'all really out here shaving your heads? What the f? Listen, Linda. And I'm like, y'all crazy. From day one, son. I don't give a rat's monkey's ass. I ain't scalping myself for no And then he talking about not getting none. You know what? You're gonna need a can of rain to get the cobwebs off that before this over with. Y'all done lost your whole ass minds and then some. You just sitting around on a random Tuesday. I'm gonna Britney Spears myself and then cry about it. Cry about it. You're gonna wake up one day and be like, I'm a bald bitch for no reason. Y'all have a great day. I can't wait.
Ball game at Shea.
Oh, brother.
3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it. If one picture is worth 1,000 words, you have seen about 1,000,000 words. But more than that, you have seen an absolutely bizarre finish to Game 6 of the 1986 World Series.
What I am, that's all what I am.
Edgar, I don't practice Renteria is the anthem. Game-winning RBI hit for the Marlins against the Cleveland Indians in the 97 series. Pretty good shortstop. He's never going to be Hall of Fame worthy, but pretty darn good if you look at his overall numbers. First pitch on the way to start here in the bottom of the 5th inning is swung on and chopped back to the mound. Jumping on it is the pitcher Gomez. And Farmer, Kyle Farmer down. 1-3 on it. Looked like a changeup. Lefty-lefty matchup as Dubon is out of the game. Kyle Farmer is now at short, but Drake Baldwin will get at least one more bat. Pitches down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Welcome in, Sam. One 1-0 count. Swing, chops it over to first. It's going to be a tough play as Baldwin was hustling down the line, but it'll be a 1-3 scoop flip. 2 down. Yeah, he played for the Braves. Renteria did. 2006, 2007. He was an all-star. 2006. Ended up in the all-star game 5 times. Probably the biggest name, recent member to come out of Colombia baseball. Lefty-righty matchup is Torres in for Matt Olson. We'll start off the bat again as the umpire called time. Pitch on the way, drifts a 89-mile-an-hour sinker right there. It's Howdy, Braden. The 0-1. Slaps it back foul. It's 0-2. 0-2 count. 9-1 your score. We're here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch on the way. Down and away. 1-2. So we have something we're adding to this year. From time to time, won't be every game. I'll play the clip real quick. Is the 1-2 outside wide 2. So that's the when you hear that sound, it's going to be for a trivia question. The problem with this, everybody's got their phone in their hand trying to find something you can't Google very quickly. The 2-1 chops it over to short. That's going to be a 6-3 putout. That's going to be the end of the inning. Braves went down quietly for the first time, but 9 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Atlanta Braves. 1-1-2 for Colombia. Atlanta leads it 9-1. We go to inning number 6.
I'm trying to stay out of trouble, but trouble just find the out of me. Trouble just find the
out of me.
So look, right? Every time I post on Twitter that I'm a man that pays all of the bills, which I don't do too often, I ain't gonna lie, because I ain't trying to attract the wrong type of woman. But every time I post about it, there's always women that ask, how do I get me a man that will do this? So ladies, today I'm here to tell you how you can get yourself a man that will pay all the bills. You can't! Well, like, look, not you. Probably you, like, that y'all bitches be posting. See, this is where y'all girls mess up at. Every time I post that and y'all be like, oh my God, how do I get me one of these? You ain't ever gonna get that. Because you ain't looking for a man, you looking for help. And if you looking in my direction for that,
Get somebody else to do it.
with the way y'all be begging on the internet, I don't know if y'all are online panhandling. Y'all all time, oh my God, my bills, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? Like, bro, every time I see y'all come across my timeline, I'll be like, right, we all got bills to pay.
Hey, I want to learn how to bait a hook so that way I can catch fish.
Nice. I mean, you gotta be a beginner baiter at some point.
What? No, I don't want to be a beginner baiter. I want to be a master baiter.
That's not what it's called.
Yeah, it is, and I'll prove it to you. Siri, show me how to masturbate.
No, don't Google that. Oh my God!
Either I'm gonna be quiet, or I'm gonna take it too far. There really is no in between.
Even when Bob Gibson broke his leg in July, the Cardinals didn't miss a beat.
The guy that took over for him was Nelson Briles. He was 10-0. Can you imagine a guy taking over for Gibson and going 10-0? And we ripped Gibson to no end, man. You're going to be another Wally Pipp. He'll never get back to the starting rotation.
But Gibson would have the last laugh as he would come back to pitch some of the best baseball of his career and lead the Cards to one of the most exciting finishes in franchise history.
Braves lead it 9-1. Top of the 6th inning. I'm glad to see that we had this young man coming in. There's been a lot made of Carlos Lara, the right-hander. First pitch on there is right there for a strike up top. Bringing it. This is high. 1-1 count. 6'3", 190-pound, 23-year-old. Pitch. 1-1. Misses, ball 2 to him. 2-1 count. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Haven't really heard a lot about him in the spring, but during the offseason, when the Braves acquired him, or added him to the spring roster, I should say, as the pitch on the way is bounced to the dirt to the backstop full count. People have really been high on this kid. 23-year-old from the Dominican Republic, and he can absolutely bring it to 3-2. Inside, bangs him right in the shoulder, and just a bit inside. He'll head to first on hit by pitch. Would have been a ball 4 anyways. So 1 on, nobody out. Carlos Lara, the big thing that he's known for is he just has a big arm. A lot of can absolutely bring it, but he has struggled with command, as you just saw there. And some of the podcasts and whatnot are really projecting for him to make the team this year. I just never bought it. If you look at his overall numbers, they're not likely. I mean, for a guy to make that big of a jump in one offseason is rarely seen at that age. Pitch on the way is down and away, 96 miles an hour, sinker in the dirt. It's a ball. He was in Gwinnett last year, but didn't have favorable numbers. there for a strike. 1-1 count. Pitch, swing, fouls it out. 1-2 count. Pitch is outside the zone. They're going to check down the first base line. He did not go around. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Nasty slider off the plate. 2 down. Or 1 down, excuse me. 1 on, 1 out, 9-1 your score. Top of the 6th inning. Out-of-town scoreboard looks like this. Astros 3-0 over the Orioles in the 5th. Yankees and Red Sox. New York leads Boston 4-0 in the 6th. First pitch swing and a miss. 86 slider in the dirt. That's 0-1. Later on today, you got the Diamonds versus the A's. The Cubs and Brewers at it. Both those games start at the 3 o'clock hour. And then the Giants and Mariners at 9:05. That's a late start for the spring training game. 3-0-1 up top. This is high 1. You and me both, Gary. This is yeoman's work doing these games. So much. We talked about it in the past, but it's so much easier to call a regular season game. 1-1 swing. Chops it up the middle. Backhanded by Mateo. He taps the bag at second, fires it to first, and it looks like he's going to turn 2. So that'll end the inning. We'll be back in a flash. Laurie gets out of the jam, and the Braves lead by 8, heading to the bottom of inning number 6.
You know what? I blame Barney for making me believe that if I love you, you'll love me. Because that's not how it works, you stupid purple mother.
I want you to put the word out that my Atlanta Falcons are very much back. We are back, baby. We are back. NFC title contenders, best believe it. Let's go.
Brittany Griner wants a paternity test because she don't believe she is the father of her wife's child. Free Brittany again.
I mean, how can you argue with that? My bet would be with her.
Why is it drinking 8 cups of water almost seems impossible, but 8 beers? Hell, that's almost getting started.
The f***ing Americans are getting up to some absolute shenanigans at the LA County Fair. The food is some of the most disgusting footage I've ever witnessed. Well done, America. You should be proud. What other nation could possibly bring us the triple donut cheeseburger? I love how not only is it a donut burger, it has 3 burgers in it. They were going to go with 2, but they didn't want to be starving people. And the Americans need the energy, so they can walk over and buy a cereal burger. Pickle lemonade. Nobody asked. America delivered. But there were also healthy options. Oh, no, never mind.
Out of room in right center. If he hits one there, we can dance in the streets. The 2-1. Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Breed. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe. Braves win. Braves win. Braves win. Braves win.
You're in Braves country.
They're interviewing Walt Weiss right now. I bet when he got that news about ProFar, I bet it was just a profanity-laced tirade. Braves lead it 9-1. So we're heading to the bottom of the 6th. Righty-righty matchup. Johnny Heel coming to the plate. First pitch is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. He's going to be one of those baby Braves you'll see in the near future that'll be making splash on the big league level. I just don't think it'll be this year. He's only 19 years old, about to be 20. The 1-0 swung on, ripped over to short. That's going to be a 6-3, 1 down. Stranger things have happened, but he hasn't had a ton of hits here in the spring. But I'll tell you what, he has ripped a couple of runs. And they have been, everybody down there seeing him work in the cage and whatnot, just talked about how he just absolutely tattoos the pitches. Ben Gamble back to the plate. He's another one who's trying to make the roster. As the first pitch on the way, is swung on and lifted down the left field line, out of play. It's all right. 0-1 count. Another thing I hate about the fact that only MLB has the stats up today. They're putting the batting averages up for the spring, but it's only for today. So you don't have anything to base any of this off of. The 0-1 count, or 0-2 count, excuse me, 1 down, bottom of the 6th. Lordy versus Gamble. That time is called. No, they're going to be a pitcher violation. So that'll even the count at 2-2. So I guess we will have the pitch clock in the WBC, but we will not have the ABS, the 1-2, down and in 2-2. I wonder if that's because they wouldn't have all the technology in all the stadiums, because remember, they're starting over in Tokyo. Is the 2-2 in the dirt? Okay. The first round of the WBC, it's not all on American soil. Payoff pitch, swing, chops it over towards short. That's going to be an easy 6-3. And there's quickly 2 down. Good to see you, Nicholas. Caraccio. First pitch on the way is right there for a, no, they're going to call that a ball? That was right on the edge. Once again, there's no ABS in this game because there's no ABS in the WBC, so they're playing by those rules. The 1-0 pitch, swing, slices it foul. I would have loved it if we could have played against the U.S. team. That tell you what, that team is stacked. I think they put 15 on the board on the Giants, and that's a pretty good pitching staff, but I'm sure the Giants have a lot of minor leaguers in the game. But you just looked at that lineup top to bottom. I'm looking at it, I was like, man, we've lost a couple of guys to injury, and it's still stacked as hell. 2-2 count. 2-1 count, excuse me. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss. 89 miles an hour, closely well behind that 89 mile an hour fastball. That's not a good sign. 2-2. The 2-2, outside wide ball, 3-2. Payoff pitch, swing, chops it over towards the third base side. A hard grounder that's going to get scooped, flipped, 5-3 on your putout, and that'll end the inning. We'll go to the top of the 7th inning. Diaz will lead off for Colombia. Braves lead at 9-1 here in Northport.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Today drained me.
The game right now is at the plate. High fly ball into right field. She is gone! In a year that has so improbable, the impossible has happened.
To all the celebrities that said they were going to leave the United States, we'll help you pack.
Fastball is a high drive into deep left center field. Buckner goes back to the fence. It is gone. What a marvelous moment for baseball. What a marvelous moment for Atlanta and the state of Georgia. What a marvelous moment for the country and the world. A black man is getting a standing ovation in the Deep South for breaking a record of an all-time baseball idol. And it is a great moment for all of us. And
checking in on all you bald-headed 4B biddies. Just wondering how y'all are doing. Did you guys come down from your manic episode yet? Come to terms? Come to realization that you made a poor decision? Thanks for making yourself easily identifiable.
There's some sites that people have gone to that pinged us for red flags. There's certain places we can't be going to on the computers anymore, guys. But if you press clear, it goes away. It doesn't go away.
Not really.
What? Here's the problem. What I found out. What? What is clear for? No. Clear history. The clear history button, what it actually does is sends the history up the chain of command.
But they can't do that.
That's not what clear means.
No.
That's not what clear means.
That's entrapment.
Don't. Here's what's very distressing about Naughty Grandmas. It is a pro contributor account.
Yes, please. I won't do it. Just please don't out me and let them know that I'm not a real grandma.
Have you always drank this much? No. Went for 11 straight years without a drink. What happened? Turned 12.
If the men find out we can shapeshift, they're going to tell the church.
In 19.
Welcome back. Scott on the mound, and the pitch on the way is swung on and popped up. That's going to be a can of corn over at second. F4 in your scorecard. One down. Top of the seventh, Luke Williams over to play second base now. As per usual here in the spring, a ton of substitutions are made. We just go through them as relevant. Taking score at home. First pitch on the way from Scott. Here to the left-handed bat. Frias swinging a miss. It's on one. Taylor Scott, 5.51 ERA, 125 MLB games. He's got an 8-6 record. He does have 5 starts in his career. 1-1 swing. Bangs it down the first baseline, foul. Good to see you, Ready 70. Jameson. 1-2. Misses high 2-2. 2-2 count. Swing. Rolls it over at second. It'll be an easy 4-3 put out, 2 down. 7th inning stretch coming up. Opening day just a few weeks away. With the Braves not playing on that Thursday, we're doing a doubleheader of Cleveland versus Seattle is the late game, and the Red Sox and Reds will be the early game. First pitch to Mariaja, the center fielder for Colombia. Swing and miss. It's on one. So it'll be Red Sox Reds 4:10 Eastern on opening day, and then Cleveland versus Seattle at 9:45. The day before it's opening night, it's just one game in Major League Baseball. Is the 0-1 swing and miss. It's over 2. We're back to doing that again, where they have the one game before it all gets going. It's going to be the San Francisco Giants against the New York Yankees. We'll come on the air about 7:30. The game first pitch is at 8 o'clock. The 0-2 slaps it down the line, and that's a fair ball, and it's going to roll around. bounce off the wall, and that's going to be a 2-out double for Colombia. For those of y'all who may be joining us late, we have opened up the new Braves Country Radio store for anybody that wants to grab any gear. It's pinned to the top of this page with the link. Got about, I think it's close to a dozen things in there. Even the new Jerks and ProFar Jerk store t-shirt. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way is chopped over to second. That's going to be a 4-3 putout, and that'll end the inning. So the Braves lead at 9-1. We're going to hit the 7th inning stretch. Oh, just not too far away before opening day.
All right, I can't see you. Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. We out to the ball game. We out to the top. Find me something up, Cracker Jack.
Welcome back. Your score. We're heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. Atlanta Braves lead Colombia, and a new right-hander coming onto the mound. And I'm probably butchering this young man's name, but we're going to call him Zabaleta. Fires the first pitch in there, misses for a ball. It's 1-0. Swing, rips it through the infield. 4-3 hole, a deep single, and it's going to be a leadoff single for your Atlanta Braves. Drew Compton smoking it in between first and second to get us going here with a 9-1 lead. That ball's going to get knocked down by the wind, and it's going to be a base hit. We got runners on first and second. Nobody out. And Camargo, backstop, coming to the plate in from there. Righty-righty matchup, Camargo. First pitch drifts in there for a strike. It's on. Y'all get a chance to check out the new Braves Country Radio store. We've got it pinned here. It's also in the previous post that we have here, the link. But We tried to make sure as the 0-1 swing lifts it high and deep into right field, that's going to be caught. So F9 your scorecard, all the runners will stay put, 1 down. Let me correct that. The runner at second does move down over to third. They did not have a camera on it, so we're at the mercy of, I don't know, sometimes it seems like they have a shaky iPhone on it. Can't cover it. But anyway, we're wanting to make sure that all the stuff that was on there was of good quality and didn't cost a ton, so I think one of my favorite things on there is it's that dog bowl. And I mean, we don't make anything off that because when they asked me about it, is the first pitch on the way is inside, and that's going to bang the left arm of Kyle Farmer, and he'll head down to first. The bases are loaded. Ducks all over the pond. 1 out. Righty matchup now. Low dice out to low dice. Stands in, and the first pitch is up top for a strike. It's 0-1. That dog bowl, it's one of those nice ones. It's got the double wall and everything on it, but they charge so much for these things to be made and shipped. I was like, man, we barely put anything on it because some of the stuff that they charge. But it was more for people have asked us about merchandise for a while. We wanted a third party to handle it. That's not like I've got some sweatshop out back that we can start assembling things. Pitch on the way is outside wide, taken by low dice. It's 1-2. If we ever get Chop Shop to move down here to Florida, we'll put him to work in the shed out back with no AC. The 1-2 bangs it foul down the line. We'll just put PETA outside the shed yelling orders at him. So a 1-2 count. But in all seriousness, we've got T-shirts. We picked one of those lightweight hoodies because we knew the spring was coming. It's the 1-2, misses high, 2-2. We got some ball caps. We've got the 8-ball, which we're about to play, but the 8-ball that we do for the 8th inning. Got several things on that, shirts and hats, and then the new patriotic BCR logo is the 2-2. Misses high and inside. Full count. So a full count here, and the bases loaded. Standing on deck is Torres. Pitch on the way. Swing! Lifts it foul and out of play. In the hole is Johnny Gill. United States versus Brazil begins WBC on Friday night. We're actually coming on the air a couple hours early. For folks who will look at it, you have to go inside the description to see why we're doing that. But the Braves play that night as the 3-2 swing, chops it off the plate. So if this makes sense, we're going to carry the Braves from 6 to about 7:30. Then I've got to get lineups and everything set for the first pitch at 8 o'clock of USA versus Brazil. It's all going to be on the same feed because it's just going to make it quicker for me to be able to bounce back. I wanted to bring some of the Braves game as the payoff pitch. Caught looking, strike 3, and 2 down. Low dice, taking a floater up there and just, I don't know, he must have been looking for the hard stuff and it just buckled. So bases loaded now, and Torres the batter. I want to see if we can get Johnny Gill up this inning and have a swat at a grand slammer. First pitch is right there on the outer edge for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. here. If y'all are looking for something, you don't see something that you would like to see us put in the store, feel free to give us the suggestion and we'll see what we can do. We're just kind of learning where everything is and how to do all this stuff. The 0-2 count. Swing. Just got a piece of it to stay alive. We'll do it again. Yeah, Tree Nug got his clock mixed up. He thought it was 4:20. It's actually 3:13 Eastern. The 0-2. Swing! Swats it back foul. We'll do it again. John Heel is standing on deck, and that's the young prospect that everybody is talking about in spring training. Braves lead it 9-1, bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch, misses high, 1-2. He's out there looking for mushroom. The 1-2, outside wide, 2-2. Where he is in Florida, but it is a pretty nice day out here. We have about 3 days before it gets blistering hot. The 2-2 pitch. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and swing! That ball's hammered over to the right-hand side and just foul. If that's a fair ball, it's probably going to score a run because it would have been really difficult to get the center fielder on a force play at first. He was busting it down the line, and then Zabaleta, the right-handed pitcher for Colombia, got a late break. 9-1 your score, bottom of the 7th. Here's the 2-2. Swing, slices the foul. Jameson, I'm wondering, are you getting the MLB The Show? I'm excited because they've added college teams that you can do the road to the show with the college players, the 2-2 in the dirt. I did not buy it last year. I usually skip a year. I usually get them late. But I saw that they have like 19 college teams you can do the road to the show, and I'm just kind of curious how that works. The payoff pitch. Swing and a missed strike 3, chased to 1 in the dirt. That would have been an RBI walk, but instead we'll head to the 8th inning, and you know what that means. It's 8-ball time.
106 miles from Chicago. We've got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
It's happy hour. When wins become losses and losses become wins.
You guys going to happy hour? Yeah? Yeah, I'll come for a couple. Just a couple, though. Not like last time.
When buying a beer, don't make this mistake. Buying only one beer can cause a misalignment in your spine due to the uneven weight distribution. This can cause unnecessary back pain and potential spine issues. To prevent this, carry 2 beers, ensuring your body is balanced and proper health maintained.
Okay. Let's get it! Hey!
Have dinner, buddy. Put my pants on, one leg at a time. Guess what? I got a fever, and the only prescription is
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News.
You're in Braves country.
Drink a beer. Salute.
They're making it laws where you can't drink when you want to. Pretty soon we're going to be communist country.
Oh, yeah. For me and the Lord, you gotta understand it. We're on a mission from God.
If you want to stop me,
You're gonna have to kill me!
Welcome back. James Karinchak is coming in for the Braves here in the top of the 8th inning. First pitch on the way, right there for a strike. It's 0-1. High and out of the zone. Wonderful. Karinchak, if you're not familiar with him, he was a stud for Cleveland and then ran into some injury troubles, but Braves are hoping that they're adding a gem to the depth of that bullpen. The 1-1. Man, that is a nasty drop change. He did not get the call, but it was definitely a strike. 2-1 count. I think that thing just buckled the knees of the umpire. Didn't know what to make of it. 2-1. Swing, pops it up. Back out of play. Ready? I'm sure you remember Karinchak. I was amazed when they got him on such a deal. I remember him getting injured, but I couldn't believe that no one had more interest in him. I'm expecting him to start off in the middle of that bullpen, you know, like a 6th, 7th inning type guy. Is the 2-2 misses high. Full count. Payoff pitch. Swing, fouls it back. Braves 9, Colombia 1, top of the 8th inning. The payoff pitch, and swing and a miss. Strike 3, 93 right down the track, pumping it right by him. One away. I'm really pulling for this kid. I hope he's got every chance. I don't see how they don't bring him. Karinchak, first pitch is a slider, misses high. It's 1-0. He looks so young. He is 30 years old. 6'3", 215-pounder out of Newburgh, New York is the 1-0 swing and misses. He was drafted by Cleveland in the 9th round in the 2017 draft back when they were the Indians. Is what he's been talking about. Made his debut in 2019 as the 1-1 swing and miss. 1-2 count. Swing and miss, strike 3. 2 down. First pitch on the way is down and away in the dirt. 1-0. Braves 9, Colombia 1. We're here in the top of the 8th inning with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. So I don't know what's happening here. Oh, okay. They were peering in on the Columbia radio, and I thought the way they had positioned the camera that the guy calling the game had just walked away. But there is a secondary guy that is still there. It just looked like he had hung the microphones over for crowd noise that they do there. That it looked like he got up to go take a smoke break. The 1-2 inside, 2-2. 2-2 count. I finally saw the guy who's actually calling it. this is color commentary. Either that's the color commentary trying to do the game. Braves 9, Colombia 1. Top of the 8th inning. The 2-2 count. Karen Chack fires one. High and out of the zone. Full count. Payoff pitch. Down below the knees. Ball 4. So he'll head on down to first. Now it's getting really confusing because now you have Braves pitchers facing Braves batters when Colombia is supposed to be batting. So I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm just giving y'all what I see. Okay, Peter. First pitch on the way is right down the pipe for a strike. It's on 1. I see those messages like I used to. Now they're, because they asked, I don't know if they've done it to everybody, but they maybe set up a pin. So to see my messages, I have to put my pin in, which means I don't get the alert. The 0-1 pitch, swing, chops it over towards short. That's going to be a 6-4 put out, and that'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Who the hell knows who's coming to the plate or going to the mound? Braves lead it 9-1 over Colombia. I'm expecting San Francisco to pitch against Louisiana State when we return.
Without telling me your age, tell me something that someone a lot younger than you just wouldn't understand.
In elementary school, we used to play a word game right there on the chalkboard. If we couldn't guess the word right, they hung a man.
5 things couples over 40 do. They hit skip recap on a show and then pause it 36 times throughout that show to catch each other up because they forgot things. When one of them gets up to walk out of the room, the other one has to ask, "Where are you going?" Bonus points if you can remember why you got up and where you are going. Marriage is a never-ending competition, and if you don't agree, then you've never driven, cooked, or played a board game with another human being. They take more time asking each other what they want for dinner than actually eating dinner. I call it dinner chicken, when they go back and forth suggesting things until one of them eventually caves and says, "Screw it, let's just get takeout." And the last one, they talk passive-aggressive through their pets. I'll give you an example. When is mommy starting dinner? Daddy is really hungry. Or, I guess Daddy doesn't smell that garbage that Mommy's asked him 5 times already to take out.
The pennant race was over, but the battle between Ruth, Maris, and Mantle was in full swing.
The big Yankee news is Maris 56, Mantle 53.
And then, suddenly in late September, Mantle pulled out of the race. An infection in his hip had made it impossible for him to play. Yet another injury had prevented Mickey from reaching what had seemed to many to be his destiny.
As a result of Mickey having to drop out of that home run race, Roger was on his own. Roger was all by himself.
If Ruth was going to be dethroned, it was not going to be by the fair-haired prince and lifelong Yankee. Instead, it would be the other guy.
Join the Country Club today. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today. Welcome back. Braves are playing against the Braves right now. Once again. I think Colombia just have some hell. I don't know why they don't just fold up shop. 9-1 your score. I haven't seen a Colombia jersey at the plate yet. About 4 or 5 outs. The 0-2 pitch. Right there for a strike. 1 away. Heel taking the strike out. Pitcher on the bump for the Braves. As Workinger comes to the plate. Looks like that Shoneman out there is the first pitch on the way. There's a ball, and they're leaving it up with the strike as he threw the bender in there. It's 1-1. Swing, pops it up. High in the sky, deep down the left field line, fighting the wind. That wind is wreaking havoc out there. It's going to be F7 in your scorecard, 2 down. Technically, the Braves are at the plate, and technically, Colombia's in the field. A Brave threw to a Brave, and it was caught by a Brave. And none of them have names on the back of their jerseys, so we'll have to do this by guessing. The pitch on the... Remind me not to do one of these games when this comes back around in 3 years. Pitch on the way is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. Outside wide, 2-0. What a nightmare. I mean, if they played the U.S., obviously we'll do it. But I'm out on these. I thought they'd be fun. I didn't realize everyone was just going to start giving up. The 2-0 swing, fouls it down the line, 2-1. I guess it's cocaine 30 in Colombia right now. So they said, adios. Shananaman had a 6.40 ERA in the minors last year in 27 appearances. 2-2 count. High and out of the zone. Full count. Payoff pitch. Caught looking, strike 3. They gave that to him. That was well outside the zone. Whatever. Shanana. It is 9-1, and Shananaman is out of the inning. We'll be back in a flash. Top of the 9th we go. 9-1. In theory, Atlanta's beating Atlanta.
Well, what can I say? You know, I'm just the type of guy who tells it like it is. And sometimes, just between me and you, I tell it like it isn't.
People can't say, wow, she's really let herself go. If I never had it to begin with, you know, it's a perfect crime.
Remember, spread your cheeks could be another way to say smile. Until we meet again!
Is there any bigger lie in a marriage than when you wake up your snoring husband on the couch and he looks you dead in the eye and says, I wasn't sleeping?
In there, strike 3, and he is hooked out the side.
Fernando started opening day for the Dodgers in 1981 and went on to win each of his first 8 starts, 5 via shutout, posting a 0.50 ERA to begin the season. He ultimately became the first player, and still the only, to win Rookie of the Year and Cy Young in the same season. Although others came before him, Fernando Valenzuela established himself as the first Mexican superstar in the major leagues. Starring in LA made him an icon.
He was their hero, which was great. They needed a hero, and he represented their country in the highest degree of class, dignity, and character.
Fernando made 6 All-Star teams throughout his career. He led the NL with 21 wins and 20 complete games in 1986. And on April 27th, 1990, in his final season with the Dodgers, he threw a no-hitter against the Cardinals.
Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter.
After 5 additional stops, Fernando retired in 1997. He eventually returned to the Dodgers as a Spanish-language analyst for radio and TV broadcasts.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fernando Valenzuela.
Your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Righty-righty matchup as Pope is on the mound, and the first pitch on the way is outside wide. It's 1-0. Braves lead it 9-1. 1-0 pitch. Check swing and a miss. Carrero of the Braves is at the plate. Austin Pope of the Braves is on the bump. The Braves lead Colombia 9-1. I haven't seen a Colombia player to the plate if you're just joining us in about 2 innings. 1-1. Down and away. Into the dirt. there are still some fans out there watching the game, so you got to give them credit. 2-1 pitch. Upstairs for a strike, 2-2. But if you're down there for a few days, you probably have dinner plans at a certain time. Like, we'll just sit here and watch this, whatever this huckleberry stuff is out here. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Oh, that was a bad at bat. His foot was heading towards the third base dugout. He was trying to pull something that was on the outer edge. And he lost his bat. Other than that, it was a great at bat. Top of the 9th, 1 out. Hey, look at there. There's a Colombia player. Diaz is up at the plate. First pitch is up top for a strike. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. Diaz. Braves lead at 9-1, top of the 9th. Swing, lifted. Into left field. That sharp wind's going to knock it down once again. 2 down. I'd say that wind's blowing somewhere between 15 to 20 on certain gusts, but steadily at 10 to 15 all day long from left to right. That one that Olsen smacked definitely got knocked down by a gust of wind because that thing was hauling it. Pitch on the way is inside. For a strike, it's 0-1. 0-1. Solburn says if his team changes his name, they'd have to quit being a fan of that team. Red Stockings lead Columbia 9-1. The Doves kicks and fires. Swing. That ball's chopped over to third. And the Rustlers will end the game on an L5 in your scorecard. Bees win. Bees win. Your Atlanta Braves win. Whiskey for my men. Beer for my horses. Thank God this is over. 9 runs, 1 hit. Or 9 runs, 13 hits, no errors for Atlanta. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors for Colombia. I'm not giving them much of a chance if this is their starting 9 to do much in the WBC. And before I came on here, they were making a huge deal about the Colombia team. Roflo was doing a thing on MLB Network, and he was doing an underdog story like I've never heard. And anyways, I knew it was a bunch of junk when he started the whole thing off, and the star of the show, his video was Gio Urshela. I'm like, dude, that's not going to be turning out well if that's your cleanup. We'll see you tomorrow. It'll be the Braves versus the Blue Jays. Hopefully we get a much better ball game. 9-1 your score. It's great to see the Braves win. Just, I don't know what we actually won out of that. Y'all have a good one and try to keep everybody away from the PEDs until I see you next time.